History repeats itself. First, we fought over land, then oil, then data. Now, the next trillion-dollar war won't be fought with guns or hackers, but with mining drones and rocket fuel. Let me ask you something. What's the most expensive thing you've ever held? A diamond? A gold bar? Maybe that one PlayStation 5 you overpaid for it during the pandemic. Well, what if I told you that right now, floating above us are rocks? Yes, literal space rocks, worth more than every company on Earth combined. Floating between Mars and Jupiter is 16 Psyche, an asteroid the size of Massachusetts. NASA's probe will reach it in 2026. Why bother? Because Psyche isn't just rock. It's a 220-kilometer-wide ball of solid metal. Iron, nickel, gold, platinum. Scientists estimate its value at $10,000 quadrillion. Let that sink in. That's enough to give every human on Earth $1.3 billion, or buy every company, country, and coffee shop 10,000 times over. Let's be honest, humanity has a track record. Give us something valuable, and we'll ruin it for everyone else. Gold rushes, oil booms, dot-com bubbles. And now, the universe has handed us the ultimate jackpot. And of course, we're already fighting over it. This isn't just about money. It's about power. The kind of power that rewrites nations. The kind that could either save Earth or turn space into a billionaire's private fiefdom. Of course, actually mining these things is like trying to rob a bank while riding a unicycle, on a highway, during an earthquake. But since when has that stopped us? We've spent centuries stripping our planet bare. Now the cosmos offers us a second chance. But tell me, do we even deserve it? Let's play a game. Imagine you could teleport to 1700s London with a modern soda can. You peel off the aluminum tab, a worthless piece of trash today, and offer it to a royal jeweler. Their eyes would widen. They'd call the guards to protect you. Because in that era, producing pure aluminum was so difficult that kings displayed it as a greater treasure than gold. Fast forward to 1886, we invent electrolytic refinement. Suddenly, aluminum becomes cheaper than pottery. The same metal that once crowned monarchs now wraps your sandwich. This is exactly what will happen to platinum and gold when asteroid mining begins. Today's treasures becoming tomorrow's trash. Diamonds are just carbon atoms in a fancy arrangement, the same element as pencil lead. We can make perfect lab-grown diamonds for $300 a carat that even jewelers can't distinguish from natural ones. Yet, mined diamonds sell for $5,000 a carat because De Beers artificially restricts supply. They've brainwashed generations that natural better. The wedding industry perpetuates the scam. In 2001, French researchers conducted a blind taste test with 600 participants. When served expensive Bordeaux versus cheap table wine in unmarked glasses, the experts couldn't tell which was which. The $10,000 bottle tasted better because the drinker knew the price tag. This is the dirty secret of all luxury goods. Value isn't in the object, but in the story we attach to it. An asteroid full of gold is like discovering a warehouse of 1945 Chateau Mouton Rothschild. The moment supply exceeds demand, the magic disappears. Value isn't about usefulness. It's about scarcity. This is the heart of asteroid mining economics. Not just new wealth, but the annihilation of scarcity itself. And when scarcity dies, markets panic. So why would anyone mine asteroids if it nukes the value of their own haul? Simple. First mover advantage. The moment someone extracts even 1% of Psyche's payload, two things happen. They become the de facto OPEC of space metals. Everyone else races to mine faster to avoid total obsolescence. This is the carbon bubble of the 21st century, but with asteroid-shaped shrapnel. Here's where economics gets gloriously messy. The cheaper space metals become, the cheaper it gets to build more mining infrastructure. Imagine, asteroid-mined iron builds orbital factories. Factories build more mining drones. Drones strip mine entire asteroid fields. This is the Kardashev scale for capitalists. A single corporation could, theoretically, control more raw material than every nation on Earth. Which begs the question, what do they do with that power? Option A, they flood the market, collapse commodity prices, and become the Walmart of space. Option B, they artificially restrict supply, becoming the De Beers of the cosmos. Option C, they say screw Earth and start building space arcologies for the 0.0001%. Historically, which option sounds most likely? This forces us to confront an uncomfortable truth. Economics is not a natural law. It's a story we agree to believe, until someone rips the script. For centuries, we've treated land and labor as the foundation of value. But in space, land is infinite. Just grab another asteroid. Labor is automated. Robot miners don't unionize. So what is valuable? Information, energy, intellectual property. The real trillion-dollar resource isn't metal. It's the technology to extract it. And that is how you build an empire. Maybe this is humanity's ultimate upgrade. Maybe it's a dystopia wrapped in a gold foil. But one thing's certain, the moment the first asteroid haul docks at an orbital refinery, nothing will ever be the same. Not for markets, not for geopolitics, and certainly not for you. Which brings us to the real obstacle. Not the technology, not the economics, but the bloodless war already brewing over who owns the sky. You might think, if everything's cheap, doesn't that make life better for everyone? In theory, yes. In reality, no. Here's why. Debt collapse. Banks lend money based on asset values. If gold, platinum reserves become worthless, trillions in loans turn toxic. Labor crisis. Millions work in mining, refining, jewelry. Their jobs vanish. Unlike tech disruption, e.g. Netflix killing Blockbuster, there's no replacement industry. Power shifts to whoever controls supply. If one company mines just enough to undercut Earth's prices, but not enough to crash them, they become a space cartel. Think OPEC, but with asteroid lasers. The psychological blow. Humans need scarcity to assign value. If a child can scoop up gold like seashells, wealth becomes meaningless. This is the Faustian bargain of asteroid mining. Infinite resources could save us, or erase the very concept of value we built civilization upon. So, is the solution to not mine asteroids? Of course not, but we can mitigate the chaos. Slow drip, not flood. Ration returns to Earth to avoid market shock. Use metals only in space, building colonies, ships, to preserve Earth's economy. New currency. Shift from gold-backed systems to energy-backed, kilowatts, or data-backed, AI algorithms. Brutal truth. Someone will eventually flood the market. The only question is whether we're ready when they do. The asteroids aren't just rocks, they're economic time bombs, and the countdown has already begun. So how do we actually mine a space rock? Companies are already testing this. Autonomous drones, AI refineries, even NASA's OSIRIS-REx mission proved we can snag samples. The tech is here. The question is, who pays for it? Will it be nations, corporations, or some guy in a garage with a really big rocket? In 1967, the US and Soviet Union signed the Outer Space Treaty, declaring space the province of all mankind. No nukes in orbit, no national land claims. A beautiful idea for the Cold War. But today, it has more loopholes than a Swiss cheese spaceship. The big problems: no sovereignty, no property, The treaty bans countries from claiming the moon, but says nothing about companies mining asteroids. It's like saying, no one owns the ocean, while letting corporations drill for oil in international waters, for the benefit of all countries. But who decides? If SpaceX mines an asteroid, must they share profits with Earth? The treaty is vague by design. Imagine if Columbus had to split New World gold with every kingdom in Europe. Spoiler, he didn't. The footprint loophole. While you can't claim territory, you can claim use rights by being there first. This is how China built artificial islands in the South China Sea, and how companies will occupy asteroids. In 2015, the US passed the Commercial Space Launch Competitiveness Act, letting American companies keep what they mine in space. Not own, just keep. It's like saying pirates don't own the sea, but they can keep whatever's in the ships they board. Real-world consequences. Luxembourg, yes Luxembourg, now has a space mining law. A country smaller than Rhode Island offers legal protection for asteroid miners. Why? Because on Earth, whoever makes the rules makes the money. Finders keepers precedent. NASA's Apollo missions brought back 382 kg of moon rocks. By current space law, those are US government property. So if a private company extracts 38,000 kilograms from an asteroid, why wouldn't it be theirs? The space salvage problem. Maritime law lets salvagers claim abandoned ships. Soon, lawyers will argue the same for derelict asteroids. Future headline. SpaceX repossesses $10 trillion asteroid after previous miner goes bankrupt. The only way out, a new treaty or war? We have three options, all terrifying. The Moon Agreement solution. Unlikely. A 1979 UN treaty declaring space resources common heritage. Problem, only 18 nations signed it. The US, China, and Russia ignored it. The Code of Conduct approach. Messy. Like maritime laws, where corporations negotiate ad hoc rules. Risk. The strongest players, read, whoever has the most armed drones, win. The Gold Rush default. Probable. No rules. First come, first serve. Outcome, a free-for-all where the 1% become the 0.000000001%. The law always lags behind technology. By the time we agree who owns the asteroids, the winners will already be counting their trillions. Asteroid mining could save Earth. No more strip mines. No more child labor in cobalt mines. Infinite resources. But at what cost? Will this lift all of humanity, or just the 0.0001% who can afford a ticket? Or could this be the key to our survival? Let's cut the orbital bullshit. They're selling you a fairy tale, a space-age redemption arc where we expand into the cosmos and save Earth. We all get starships and a happy ending. It's a beautiful lie, a necessary lie, because the truth is too terrifying to sell on a TED Talk stage. The truth is, asteroid mining isn't salvation. It's the final stage of capitalism, the ultimate wealth heist, disguised as idealism. And you're not a stakeholder. You're the loot. They whisper, infinite resources for everyone. Asteroid wealth will lift all boats. Sure. And the diamond trade made African miners rich, and the Industrial Revolution was great for the children in the coal mines. Let's be clear. New wealth does not distribute itself. It consolidates. It follows the path of least resistance, straight into the pockets of those who already own the infrastructure, the patents, and the rockets. Always has. The first Gilded Age gave us Rockefeller and Carnegie. The digital age gave us Bezos and Zuckerberg. The spacefaring age? It won't give us a utopia. It will give us the first trillionaire, and then the second. and they will be so monumentally, incomprehensibly wealthy that the difference between you and them won't be economic, it will be biological. They will effectively be a different species. Your boat isn't being lifted. You're watching their new yacht launch into orbit, and you're being told to be grateful for the trickle of wake it leaves behind. Here's the second lie. It will create new jobs. In space. How exciting! Let's autopsy that fantasy. What jobs? The mining will be done by autonomous drones, designed by AI, controlled from a server farm in Texas. The refining will be done by automated processors. The transport will be done by automated tugs. The entire supply chain from rock to finished product will be run by a handful of technicians and an army of algorithms. This isn't another industrial revolution where factory jobs replace farm jobs. This is the final revolution. It's the export of obsolescence. It moves the entire concept of labor off-world, leaving behind a planet of consumers who have nothing left to sell but their attention and their data. Your economic value, in the eyes of a system that only sees efficiency, is already approaching zero. Asteroid mining is the final nail in the coffin. It severs the last link between productivity and the human body. But the deepest damage won't be to your bank account. It will be to your psyche, to our collective soul. For all of human history, value has been tied to effort, to scarcity, to story. A diamond is valuable because it's hard to find. A vintage wine is valuable because of its history. Your paycheck is valuable because you traded your time for it. Asteroid mining will annihilate that entire framework. When a company can mine a mountain of platinum for the cost of a software update, what is precious? When a robot can do in a second what a human miner couldn't do in a lifetime, what is work? When the source of all wealth is a silent, automated process happening a million miles away, what is ambition? We are staring into a void, a post-scarcity, post-labor, post-effort economy, and our 200,000-year-old monkey brains, wired for struggle and scarcity, are utterly unequipped to handle it. The result won't be a utopia of leisure. It will be a crisis of meaning, an epidemic of nihilism. Why get out of bed when the world no longer needs you to? So here is the grand, horrifying, beautiful paradox of it all. Asteroid mining is the pinnacle of the capitalist dream. The total privatization of nature, the final conquest of scarcity, the ultimate efficiency. It is capitalism winning. But in its total victory, it will also kill its own host. It will destroy the very concepts of capital, labor, and value that gave it life. It's a snake so successful it ends up eating its own tail, and in doing so becomes something else entirely. This isn't about saving the world. It's about ending one world and birthing another, whether we're ready for it or not. The trillion-dollar question isn't how we do it. It's what we become the morning after the heist is complete. So, what do you think? Is this our destiny or our downfall? Either way, it's gonna be one hell of a ride. We end this journey where we began, floating in the silent, infinite black. In the hand of our astronaut, a fragment of an asteroid. Cold, pitted, unremarkable. Yet within it, the seeds of either a new genesis or our final, greatest folly. We have walked through the economics, the terrifying, intoxicating math that promises to collapse scarcity itself. We have navigated the legal void, a wilderness where the only law might soon be the law of the fastest drone, the most powerful laser. We have stared into the ethical abyss, wondering if we are the saviors of Earth or just a new kind of exploiter, dressed in a spacesuit. But all of that, all the data, the projections, the treaties, and the warnings, they all distill down to this single silent moment, to one question that humanity has never truly had to answer until now. What is the purpose of a god? Is it to create? To build a utopia without want, where the very idea of not enough is a forgotten ghost? To become a multiplanetary species, scattering life and consciousness across the stars, ensuring that no single disaster, no asteroid impact or self-inflicted war can ever erase us? To finally, stop digging scars into our pale blue dot and let her heal, while we draw our wealth from the dead rocks that once threatened her? Or is the purpose of a god to control, to own, to become the ultimate gatekeeper, to hoard the wealth of a solar system and stand astride the funnel through which all resources flow, deciding who is worthy of advancement and who must be left behind on a dying world? To not just have more money than anyone else, but to own the very concept of value, to become a king whose kingdom is the vacuum itself, and whose subjects are everyone who ever drew breath. This is the true frontier, not a line on a map of the asteroid belt. It's a line, right here, in the human heart. We have spent our entire history struggling against scarcity. We have no idea who we become when we are faced with too much. Our entire psychology, our politics, our very sense of self is built upon the struggle for resources. Take that struggle away, and what are we? Do we elevate? Or do we simply find new, more terrifying ways to divide ourselves? There are no easy answers, only a choice. A choice we are making right now, in labs and boardrooms and government agencies. A choice that won't be made with a grand vote, but with 1,000 small decisions. A choice between a future of breathtaking collaboration or a cold corporate tyranny on a scale we can't even imagine. The aluminum in that soda can you drank from today was once more precious than gold. It became common, and it changed the world. The question is not if it will change everything. The question is, will that change be for all of us, or just for them? So I'll ask you again, not as a narrator, but as a fellow human staring up at the same sky. What do you think? Is this our destiny? The proud, elegant next step in our evolution? Or is it our downfall? The ultimate expression of a species that finally, greedily, bit off more than it could chew. Whatever you believe, it's gonna be one hell of a ride. The future isn't written, it's mined.